Welcome to the Billionaire Belief Show. Thank you for tuning in. This is your host, Dhane Diesil. And today we're going to be talking about how to get your logo set up for your brand. The reason why I want to talk about this topic is because someone asked me the other day, they were looking at the Billionaire Belief project, and they were asking me, how did you create that logo? It's pretty dope. And so I got to explaining to him, like, I basically am pretty good at Photoshop. I know the basics of Photoshop. So what I did was I kind of got an idea of what I wanted my brand to represent, and kind of like some images, some symbols, and yada yada yada. Then I kind of went and found some custom shape packs on the internet for Photoshop. Then I imported those into Photoshop. And then, I kind of just start putting some stuff together. And then by the time it was all said and done, I had a logo and that I liked. And then boom, I had the Billionaire Belief logo. Now, obviously, probably like you, when I was explaining this to this person, their eyes glazed over and they're just like, okay. So I figured I'd go ahead and create a video to kind of give you a gist of what you can do. So if you aren't tech savvy, you don't own Photoshop, and you want to get a logo created, this video is for you. So now when it comes to your brand, there's a few things you have to take into consideration before you move on to, what you want it to look like. I mean, I'll use an example that we all know. Let's go over it and use Nike logo. Let's go Nike logo history. So we all know Nike. You feel me? We're all familiar with the brand. There it is again. A brief history of the Nike logo. So as we can see here, let's actually click on this link and see what they talk about. Design 9 surprising facts you didn't know about Nike swoosh logo. So as we can see, brief history here. This is what the logo has looked like over the years. This is what we all know it to be now, but obviously this is how it started off, and this is how it matured over the years. But nevertheless, like it says before, this was the Nike logo. But before they got even into what this logo was going to look like, once again, like they said, they had to create a meaning before they got to the main design elements. So the meaning ultimately represents, the ethos of the brand, what the brand means, what it represents. Like that's what ethos is. What are its ethics? You feel me? What does it stand for? What is it trying to promote? Who is it trying to promote? Like those are the questions you first got to get under wraps as you are getting started with the design of your logo. So after you, like I said, you kind of get some meaning behind it. For example, Nike, in so many words, because I just have seen it enough. The Nike brand is ultimately there to celebrate, greatness. At the end of the day, that's why Nike only wants, all-star caliber players. They want the best of the best athletes. Those are the individuals that they want to represent their brand, because that's what they stand for. They stand for athletic greatness at the end of the day. They want the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, the quickest. That's what Nike represents. So they have to have, obviously they have to sponsor people who identify with those ethos, with those words. And then because obviously back when they created the logo, they obviously came up with what it was going to look like. That's why when you look at a Nike, or when you look at the Nike symbol, it represents a certain status. Like I said, the company takes the name from the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. So once again, it's all about greatness. It's all about celebrating the winners. It's about victory. It's about you won. Winner's circle. That's what Nike's all about. So that's what they promote. That's what they represent. That's what they want us, the consumer, to get when we, that's what they want us, the consumer, to feel when we look at their logo. And by by all stretches of imagination, they've done an excellent job of that. But all in all, Nike, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's simple, you know what I'm saying? It's a simple logo, but it means what it means is why it's worth so much. So as you are deciding, you know, what you want your logos to be, what you want them to represent, you know, these are some questions that you need to ask. So once again, before you even start thinking about what you want to look out, before you start sketching out concepts, you need to first, like you said, get an idea of what your ethos are. You know, what does your logo represent? What are you trying to represent? So a billionaire belief, you know, I want to represent greatness. That's definitely one of the things I want. But I wanted the brand to represent, you know, not to represent, but I wanted the brand to symbolize, you know, starting off from the bottom, well, elevation in a sense, ascension. Like, that's really what the billionaire belief brand represents, ascension. I'll use that word just to sum it up. So when we look at the billionaire belief brand, so the logo here represents ultimately ascension, because the ultimate premise was the eagle was selected obviously because it's a animal that can fly, but the real reason why I chose the eagle is because it symbolized transformation. I remember when I was younger, my mom worked for the post office, so she would always have these interesting stories about eagles. And one time she was telling me about how when an eagle is, you know, obviously first born into the world, obviously like us humans, we have our baby teeth and whatnot. Same thing applies to eagles. The only difference is, you know, they have their baby feathers, they have their baby claws, and they have their baby beak. Now, as eagles get older, the baby beak, feathers, and claws, you know, they start to get brittle and brittle and brittle. So the eagle has a decision it has to make. It has to decide if it will go through and endure the pain that it will have to endure to knock off its own beak so a stronger beak can grow back, to knock out its own claws so stronger claws can grow back, and to pick out all of its feathers so stronger feathers can grow back. Like, that's a decision that the eagle has to make, you know, once it reaches a certain age, because if it doesn't make that decision and go through that process of transformation, then what will ultimately happen is the baby beak will fall off and it won't be able to eat. The baby claws will fall off. They won't be able to capture anything to eat. And the baby feathers will eventually fall off, and then they'll be bald, and they won't have the protection that the feathers provide them. So that's why I chose, you know, the eagle to be a symbol to represent the billionaire belief brand, because you know, ascension, you know, the eagle taking off on the ground and you know, going, you know, tens of thousands of feet in the sky to be able to have that quote unquote big picture view. So that's the ascension part. And then transformation, you know, the process that, you know, we all as, you know, wealth builders and those who aspire to achieve, you know, financial freedom, you know, there's a learning gap. You know, there's a leveling up that we have to do. We have to ascend. We have to go from where we are to where we want to be. You know, we have to move up though. And we have to, in order to move up, we're going to have to go through a transformation process where we, in a sense, we retire the agreements we made with ourselves as children, where we you know, pick up new ideals and beliefs to lead our life moving forward. So that's why, you know, I had that in mind, you know, as I was thinking about, you know, the logo for Billionaire Belief. And obviously, you know, some little stuff, the arrows, I have to find it, but they all, you know, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 arrows. You know, I chose 10 values, some things along the lines of ascension, transformation, to represent these 10 arrows. The shield was more so the protection that you receive from your knowledge. And like you said, the eagle was more so symbolizing, you know, ascension and transformation. Because and like I said, the eagle is actually carrying the arrows. So that's why I said the eagle represents ascension and transformation. The arrows represents the values that we carry throughout our life once we go through that the new values that we carry on throughout our life as we made that transformation from a non-wealth builder to a wealth builder. And then, like I said, the shield represents protection that the new knowledge and skills that we have acquired will provide us as we continue on in our life. And obviously, B, billionaire belief, B, billionaire, B, belief. So pretty simple, right? But that's what I came up with before I even start, designing this or creating this. But that was like the process that I had in my mind, or that was kind of like the direction that I wanted to go. That's what I wanted to create. I wanted to create a logo that, in a sense, represented all those symbols that I was trying to put out there. And then boom, this is what I ultimately came up with, Billionaire Belief. So I'll eventually do a video later to kind of go a little bit deeper in that. But with that being said, for your logo, as you create your brand for whatever it is you want to do, I mean, that's what you're going to have to do first. You're going to have to get your ethos, your symbols, and your meanings. What do you want it to represent? Get that down first. And then after you get that down, then you can hop into the identity component, which is where you set up what the image is, what it's going to be, what it's going to look like, the creative, portion of the logo. And then boom, you move forward. So that's what I really want to talk about today is, after you get the ethos, the words, the meanings and whatnot that you want the brand to represent and symbolize, once you get that on paper, then you can go to the next step, which is, like I said, the identity or the image component of it. So with that, I want to start here because, like I said before, when it comes to, you getting your logo set up, you feel me? If you aren't, a graphic designer or tech savvy, to where you can, either figure out how to use a program like Photoshop, or you just don't. And like I say, if that's not you, if you're not trying to figure out Photoshop, and you aren't trying to figure out any other, design program, and you just want to just, in a sense, get it done, be able to explain what you want to have, create, and then have someone do it for you, then that's what we're basically going to talk about today. So with that being said, I pulled up a couple of websites for you to go to, a couple of options for you to choose from. Because at the end of the day, it's all gas, no brakes. It's about getting the job done. So with that being said, you can come to a site like 99 Designs, you come to a site like Fiverr, come to a site like Craigslist, and the creative. Let's go back real quick. Craigslist, and you come to services, and then you go to creative, come to Craigslist, or you can go to Instagram, and then go hashtag, from the search. Just go in the search bar and then choose logo designer. And then, click the hashtag for logo design. And now everybody that designs logos has obviously tagged some of their work in their, tag logo designer for their post. So then you can just go through and see what you like. So now, all right. So here's some things to take into consideration. Now, obviously, the more often than not, the first thing on people's mind is, how much is this going to cost? So before we kind of even get into that, I want you to take some time out to understand something real quick about value. Whatever you want to buy is ultimately worth whatever you're willing to pay for it. So what I mean by that is, however much you want to pay for a logo is how much you're going to pay for a logo, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It ain't necessarily about like, oh, well, this person is charging $100, this person's charging $20, this person's charging $10,000. Obviously you want to get some value. And by value, I mean, is this person, just creating a logo, or are they walking through that first part that I told you about, the strategy component of it, the ethos? You feel me? Like, typically when it comes to you getting your logo done, it's really going to break down into really two ways you can go about this. You can either go about the way where you either just, like I said, come up with your brand ethos, and then you just go find a logo designer or logo designers, and what you will have created what's typically called a brief, where you will go and then say, hey, what I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to create. Here's my company. Let's just use a simple example. Let's just say we were going ice cream cart. So let's just say we're an ice cream cart and we want to create a logo for our ice cream. We're creating a brand for our ice cream carts. So we obviously, boom, you know what I'm saying? We know what we want to do. We want it to represent, you know, something fun, exciting, sweet. Obviously, that would be our kind of like our ethos or meaning and values that we want to represent. And then from there, you would say, okay, you know, you would take this brief and you would go to a designer and say, all right, hey, you know, I'm a ice cream cart. I'm creating a brand for my ice cream cart business. I want to have a logo, you know, for my business. And my goal is obviously to put this logo on T-shirts. I want to put it on the cups that I serve my ice cream in. And I want to also put it on my cart, as well as on business cards and other items, you know, brandable items for my business, bags, for example. You know, you want to say all these things because that's helping the designer get a better understanding of the type of logo that they're going to need to create for you. So you're going to tell them these things, and then they're going to go create the logo for you. And then they're going to come bring you a concept back based upon what you've shared and articulated. And then from there, you're going to either work off that concept, that one concept, or they may have created multiple concepts, and you'll choose one of those concepts. And then from there, you know, you'll just improve on that. And then boom, you'll go through the process until you have a logo that you love, or that you like. But if you're smart, you're not gonna necessarily choose a logo. You're gonna go to your audience. You're gonna say, hey, here's some logo options. Which ones do you guys think are the best? And they're gonna let you know. And then from there, you can kind of get an idea of the one you want is actually the one that your audience identifies with. But all in all, like I said, you want to get it done. So first, like I said, you get your ethos, you know, the words that represent the logo. You get that down on paper. And then boom, you go out and find a designer, and then you give them the work. So like I said, you can come here to Instagram, you know, like I said, hashtag logo designer, and then you're going to see, like it says here, you have over 1 million posts, 1.7 million posts. Now, obviously, you're not going to go through all 1.7 million, but from here, you can kind of get an idea based upon the words you've used to articulate your logo. You can kind of just start getting a visual. So you might say, if I'm an ice cream cart, I might, you know, so if I'm on Instagram, I'm going through it. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me try to find something that kind of, you know, resonates with me. So for example, you might click on this one. You might want to go the more cartoony route. So you might think, okay, well, Rhino Trekker, you know, he might be, you know, all right, you go through this, you see what he got, be like, all right, cool. You know, this looks pretty interesting. You know, this might work. So then you might just save him. Oh, like there it is. So ice cream. So bam, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah, I do kind of want my logo to have that kind of cartoony feel to it. So yeah, this might be someone that you might want to consider. So let's just say this is someone. So you just save this page or you save this profile for later, and then you keep searching. So boom, you know what I'm saying? You're going through. You know, here's how I would do it basically. So I would be going, if I was choosing, so I would be going through, I'm looking for stuff that I like. So not really seeing nothing else. So I'm like, boom. So on Instagram, I'd be like, all right, well, Rhino the Wrecker, he got what I like. So I'm gonna hit him up. I might go to Craigslist and say, okay, I'm looking in creative search. So I type in the search logo. All the logo people are gonna come up, then I can just start clicking through. So I see, okay, boom, you know, there's a guy, logo designer, and he's offering, he's saying he's charging $50. But then once again, I'm going through and I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, yeah, this will definitely be kind of like within the you know, the cartoony-ish look. This will be definitely in my what I would be looking for. So I would save this. You feel me? So let's go right click. So I would save him. So I would save those two, and I would keep looking. You know, who is this? Brother, he does it all, Mr. Drew. You feel me? Like he's Mr. Drew's really giving you the rundown of everything. But like you said, initially when you're first starting out, you're not necessarily focusing on price, because at the end of the day, you know, it fluctuates, but it really doesn't. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but you know, it doesn't matter, because you know what I'm saying, you want to first identify the artist, because that's what you're buying. You're buying the artist. You're not just like buying the logo. You're buying an artist. You want, and by buying an artist, you're you're buying into a specific look, feel, style. So that's what you got to identify first when it comes to who you want to do it. So I go through, keep searching. You know what I'm saying? I will create a logo for you, affordable. You know what I'm saying? You see, you can see this person seems like they're more corporate, so that's not necessarily what I would want to do for the ice cream cart example right now. So I wouldn't consider them. And I would just keep going. You know, it's plenty. I would just keep going until I found some that I liked. This really wouldn't be what I would want either for the ice cream cart example, but I would just keep looking. You know, I would just keep finding, keep searching. And then, like I said, so that's Craigslist. So we found someone on Instagram. We found someone on Craigslist. So let's go to Fiverr. So let's go logo. And boom, same thing. So you just kind of go through, do your research. You know, you're looking through. You're looking for style, looks, feels. You know, you want something that's cartoony. So boom, here's somebody right here. Here's somebody right here. Boom. You feel me? You just keep looking. Let's see, we can find something else. So, all right, let's look at the 2 Fiverrs we did. So, let's not do that yet. So, boom, you know, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is another artist that is up, that has a style, look, and feel for the project, for the ice cream cart project that I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it has the little cartoonish feel. That was nice looking the game. Like Fun Time Rentals, like you said, because like I said, the ice cream cart. I'm trying to boom, there it is, ice cream shop. I'm trying to cater to you know, at the end of the day, to keep it G. If I'm an ice cream cart salesman, I'm catering to kids. So I want my logo to represent something that kids are going to identify with, not the working professional that has to. So the kids, you know, they got the little cartoonish color effect. So boom, I will know, okay, this is another artist that I will consider. Boom. Let's look at the other one. I will create a cartoon logo. So it looks like this guy creates cartoon logos. So if this is the direction that you want to go, like you said, this is definitely something that I would want to consider. So boom, you know what I'm saying? There's 2. Then we go to 99 designs. So let's go here. Let's say, let's see, what are we looking for? Find a designer. Logo. Boom, 3,000 plus designs found for logo. The same thing, you go through and you just, you know what I'm saying, you just start looking. What are you trying to, like, what's the style, look, and feel you're going for? So these are obviously top. So obviously 99 design, it allows you to kind of categorize some things. So I'm looking definitely logo and identity, something in food and drink. And then you could let's just say we're looking for top level, mid level, all 3. And then we'll just say we want somebody that speaks English. So boom. You can kind of go through and look and see, boom. All right, well, you know, does any of these, you know, make sense for me? And if they did, then, you know, you will select them. So let's just say, okay, we've gone through these couple of sites. We found some winners. And then next we say, okay, this guy's charging a basic sketch. You know, he's basically charging 30. So then on Fiverr, you got to read the details. You feel me? Like, because every package is different, and also complete logo. So more often than not, if you're going to go through a platform like Fiverr, you're going to need to choose the most expensive option, because that's going to be the option that's going to give you ultimately what you're really looking for. Because a logo is bigger than just getting a JPEG image of it. You know, you want to get your files, your master files, in a sense. So you got, depending upon what program they use, it might be Photoshop or Illustrator or something else, but you want to definitely want that master file, because there might be some things you want to change later on down the line, or you want to make some additions later on down the line, and you won't be able to do that if you just have an image. And that's what some people don't understand about their logo. For example, I once had a friend I was helping out. You know, I was going to say a client, but they weren't necessarily a client, but it was a friend. He was trying to get a logo. He was trying to help one of his friends create a logo. And so I gave her the designer that I was using at the time. And, they were interfacing between the two of them. But then he had sent her like a concept of what he had came up with, which was just a JPEG file. And then after that, he just fell off the earth. Come to find out, his mom had like some medical issues, so that's why he wasn't responsive. But nevertheless, he fell off the earth. So then my homeboy's friend, she came back to me and was like, "Hey, I have this. I like this logo. I want to edit it." And I was I was explaining to her, well, I don't have we don't have the master files. So we can't make any changes, you know what I'm saying? And she just didn't get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, but I have the logo here. And I was like, well, we would have to, in order for us to move forward with this idea, this concept, we would have to, in a sense, try to recreate it, which is going to just be even harder. So at the end of the day, you need to go find another designer who can do something that wants to recreate it, or you're going to just have to start from scratch. And after that, I don't know what happened, but, these designers, aren't stupid. And they understand the value of their work. So, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be for this logo, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be trying to find the cheapest price. You want to get the best value. So the best value is going to be, for example, so like he says, if you want just a $30 basic sketch, you're going to get a black and white drawing for 1/2 body character, waist up design. So he's basically saying, you're going to get this, but just in black and white. Does he have any here? But there it is. So basically for $30, he'll do this for you. The basic package, $30. But like he says, but for $70, you know what I'm saying, you'll get this. You get this standard. So for $70, he's saying that he'll do the initial concept, he'll do logo, transparency, high res, but for the standard, for the $70 package, he'll also give you the source file and the vector file. And that's what you ultimately want, ladies and gentlemen. And a smart designer isn't going to give you these until you have completed the project and paid them. And then boom. So there it is. So basically from this step, after this, you go through these these designers listings, you see what they have to offer. Same thing. Minimum logo package. I'll design a high quality minimalist logo, no cartoon or mascot drawing. Boom. So I know that already. I'm gonna have to step my game up to maybe what a standard package or his premium package. The best option, premium mascot logo, all necessary files, VIP support, fast delivery. So boom. So if I was wanting to get a logo similar to something like this, you know what I'm saying? Boom. I will have to drop my $60, which is pretty good deal, actually. Then we come back to Craigslist. So we see here, this guy kind of had the style, look, and feel we want. And so you just have to read some of his fine print, but he's basically telling you right here, graphics start at 25, logo with concept starting at 50, logo with no concept starting at 100, illustrations starting at 75, motion graphic presentation starting at 100. All right here. Go to their website to look at stuff more. But boom, you know what I'm saying? You go through this stuff. You go find what you're looking for. We go to the Rhino guy. He's a logo designer. So we see. So boom, we seeing what he has to offer. So now that you got some concept, some ideal designers, the next thing you would want to do, you want to go and start contacting them. So if you don't have a Fiverr account, for example, set up a Fiverr account, join it. And then you obviously save these pages, save these people's pages first. But then once you set up your account, then you can go in here, you can contact them. Where is it at? About this gig. There's a link somewhere on here. Yeah, boom, contact me. And you contact them. And then you let them know what you're trying to accomplish. And then they'll tell you so you will log in a sense, and then they'll tell you, okay, yeah, you need to choose a premium, or you need to choose a standard, or you need to choose a basic. But basically, once you kind of start talking, like I said, talk to them first, talk to them, tell them what you want, get a feel for who they are as an individual, as a professional. Then once you kind of, like you said, you do this due diligence, you go whittle, like I said, the one you're supposed to be with is that they will come to the forefront. They will present themselves as the winner. So just by your interactions and the looks and the feels and yada, yada, yada. But boom, you go through it, contact them, let them know what you're trying to do. And then once you settle on the designer that you want to use, whether it be on Fiverr, 99 Designs, Craigslist, Instagram, or just somebody that you know, once you get clear on this stuff, then you move forward and get the stuff done. And then they're gonna go through their process, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? Depending upon what their turnaround time is, you're gonna have a logo, and then boom, you have a logo. And it's literally that simple. So if you're trying to get a logo created for a brand, so, and by brand, whether you're starting a brick and mortar business, whether you're starting a YouTube channel, an Instagram page, a Facebook, whatever you're trying to do, we'll get in another video. We're talking about just kind of like branding and packaging and the importance of it. But always remember, you want to put your best foot forward. Period. Point blank. So invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to put money up. Don't be afraid to put money where your mouth is. For something like a logo, I'm not going to say that, the price is irrelevant, but in a sense it is, what I'm saying? You really want to be focusing on making sure that you create the identity that resonates with your ethos. Like, that's really what you want to focus on. And whatever designer understands where you're coming from and knows what you're trying to accomplish, that's the one you need to choose. So don't choose a designer based upon, who's the cheapest. Choose a designer based upon who's providing you with the best value. So to recap, we talked about, how to get a logo, created for your brand. We talked about the importance of doing your due diligence first, of identifying, what you want the ethos of the logo to be, or after identifying the ethos of your brand, and then creating, getting an idea of some of the symbols you can use to represent those ethos. And then boom, after you get that down, then you want to go find your designer who can help you put it together. And then once you find that designer, have them design it, pay them, you're good to go. So if you have any questions, use the comments below. You can shoot me an email, billionairebelief@gmail.com. You can also be sure to, follow us on all social medias, BBWCN, Instagram, Twitter. Facebook is Billionaire Belief. Make sure you subscribe to the channel here, like the video. And the more you like it, the more it gets played around. The more, that tunes into the algorithms, and, more people find the video. Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a stranger, to tell a friend about the video. And like I said, get started. Don't be afraid to put up a shot. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? As you are, going through your journey, your wealth building journey, you know what I'm saying? You are going to need to create a business, and which means you are going to need to create ideally create a brand around this business. And then that brand is going to have a logo. So you're going to need to do this stuff at the end of the day. So without further ado, it's been a pleasure as usual. Like you said, get at me. I would love to help. But as always, till next time, Dhane Diesil out. Peace.